Meet Yuuya, a regular high schooler who was constantly bullied, until one day he stumbles upon a powerful cheat skill that transports him to a realm of magic and adventure. But that's not all. Witness how Yuuya's newfound abilities shape not only his destiny in the fantasy world, but also his triumphs in the real world. Get ready for an unforgettable journey filled with action, mystery, and unexpected twists. Don't miss a second of this thrilling anime adventure. The story opens with Yuuya defending a girl from harassers but getting beaten up and bullied in the process. The police intervene, and the girl thanks Yuuya, unaware of his emotional pain. Yuuya has endured constant bullying from everyone, even his parents, except for his kind grandfather. After his grandfather's death, Yuuya inherits the house and savings but is abandoned by his parents, living alone. Graduating from middle school, Yuuya faces mean comments in his yearbook and is confronted by his relentless bullies, who continue to torment him. Even at his part-time job, he faces constant disappointment and rejection. In a moment of frustration, Yuuya stumbles upon a hidden room in his grandfather's house filled with peculiar items. He discovers that the room is a gateway to another world with various functions, much like a game interface. Upon exploring the world, Yuuya finds his level to be dishearteningly low, but he's determined to make the most of his newfound abilities. He discovers powerful weapons and gains skills during his training, eventually reaching level 100 after defeating a formidable monster. He finds magic clothes and a necklace that enhance his abilities. He undergoes a physical transformation, becoming a different person altogether. Entering high school, Yuuya garners admiration from his peers and even his bullies, who fail to recognize him. His siblings are astounded by his remarkable change, and they try to belittle him, but their words hold no power over the new and self-assured Yuuya. On a fateful day, a luxurious limo arrives, and to Yuuya's surprise, Kaori, the girl he once rescued, emerges searching for him. Kaori invites Yuuya to join the prestigious Osai Academy for the super elite. Yuuya hesitates, feeling inadequate, but Kaori believes he would fit in well. They visit the academy, where Yuuya meets Chairman Tsukasa Hojo, who offers to pay his tuition. Tsukasa encourages Yuuya to discover his talents and suggests trying out the school for a day. During the day, Yuuya bonds with students over shared interests and feels comfortable with them. Afterward, he meets with Tsukasa, still uncertain about joining. Tsukasa reminds him that his worth is determined by himself. Yuuya decides to join and runs into Kaori, who is glad he chose to stay. They explore the city together and share crepes, bonding over their experiences. Yuuya then returns to the other world, leveling up in battle but realizing he needs to face stronger challenges. As he sets out, he hears a scream and rushes to save a girl named Lexia from a dangerous monster. Yuuya defeats the monster but faces another powerful goblin. Undeterred, he uses his skills and determination to overcome the goblin and protect Lexia, who reveals herself as a princess. Yuuya reflects on his encounter with the girl and hopes she is alright, knowing that the knights would have protected her. He decides to use the money he earned from the other world to buy some new clothes. In the mall, a frustrated director at a photo shoot seeks a replacement for a missing model show for a couple's theme shoot. Yuuya, passing by, catches the director's eye, and he is approached to fill in. Reluctantly, Yuuya agrees to be their model. During the photo shoot with Miu, another model, Yuuya struggles with the sexier direction. However, Miu guides him through it, and he is captivated by her professionalism and beauty. As they get closer for a shot, Yuuya feels increasingly embarrassed, but the crowd is intrigued by their chemistry. In the other world, Princess Lexia decides to return to the dark forest to find and thank the person who saved her, despite warnings from her knight. After the photo shoot, Yuuya chokes on his drink, and Miu helps him out. They talk about their modeling experiences, and Miu encourages him to pursue it at his own pace. Yuuya declines the director's offer for more modeling opportunities. Nonetheless, the director gifts him all the clothes from the shoot as a token of appreciation. In the other world, Lexia's knights are battling goblins, and Yuuya makes a surprising appearance, easily defeating the monsters. Lexia is grateful and wants to express her gratitude but stuns everyone by asking him to marry her. In the other world, Princess Lexia's knight, Owen, questions her impulsive decision to propose to Yuuya, reminding her of her royal position and the unknown nature of Yuuya. However, Lexia insists that it was love at first sight and is determined to win his heart. Yuuya interrupts their argument and invites them back to his house to ensure their safety in the dangerous forest. Yuuya introduces himself, but they find his name strange, speculating that he might be from another country. Owen reveals that they have an invitation for Yuuya to visit the royal palace. Though hesitant, Yuuya cannot decline a royal command and agrees to the visit. Back at Yuuya's house, he prepares for his first day at the academy wearing his new uniform. As he walks, people mistake him for a famous model. At the academy, the director greets him, and Yuuya is introduced to the class as an official student. During a soccer game, Yuuya interacts with a girl named Kaide. Later, a group of delinquents, the Red Ogres, arrive on motorbikes and threaten Kaide. However, Yuuya musters the courage to confront the bullies and saves Kaide from their grasp. Police arrives and all the delinquents are arrested. Meanwhile, Yuuya's siblings, who were part of the Red Ogres, reflect on their actions, and Yuuya forgives them, stating that they are still family. Yuuya sets out to explore the dangerous dark forest despite Owen's warning about its treacherous monsters. He stumbles upon a puppy under attack by an orc. Initially hesitant, Yuuya decides to help and defeats the orc with ease, saving the dog. He names the puppy Knight and discovers it is a level 500 Black Fenrir. Back in the real world, Yuuya tells his friends at school about adopting Knight, and Kaide offers to take him to a pet shop after school. Yuuya thanks her but worries about the outing being seen as a date. Back home, Yuuya shows Knight the items he got from the pet shop and takes him to the park, where they meet Kaori. Later, Yuuya runs into Miu, the model he worked with, and they have a brief encounter. As they continue exploring the dark forest, Yuuya and Knight encounter more powerful monsters. Yuuya takes down an orc king and a crystal deer, receiving valuable items from their battles. One night, while resting in a cave, Yuuya discovers the Book of the Sage, which leaves him astonished. As Yuuya continues reading the Sage's book, he confirms his suspicion that the Sage was the previous owner of the house he's staying in. The Sage addresses Yuuya directly, warning him that his strength is more potent than he realizes, and people might start to fear him, and advises Yuuya to build human relationships based on trust to avoid a lonely and miserable fate. The book also grants Yuuya the chance to seek knowledge on one topic, and he chooses to learn about magic. The sage fills the book with magical theory and decides to bestow his magical pathways upon Yuuya. Back in the human world, Yuuya practices magic manipulation with the help of his companion, Knight, the Black Fenrir, and they succeed in conjuring water balls. Meanwhile, Owen delivers a report to the king, including the news of Lexia's proposal to an unknown young man. The king's anger flares up, revealing his possessiveness over Lexia. Yuuya returns to school, where they announce an upcoming camping trip. He goes shopping for a camping bag with his friends at the amusement mall, where a fire breaks out, trapping Yuuya's friends on the upper floors. Yuuya uses his magic to rescue them, defying the evacuation order. Yuuya experiments with magic and opens a portal leading to the middle of the forest, allowing him to travel between the fantasy world and the real world. There, they stumble upon a dark cave filled with goblins. Yuuya and Knight team up to defeat them, and find rare items to add to the collection. There, they encounter Luna, surrounded by higher-level goblins. They watch as Luna puts up a fierce fight, even though she is injured. When she is knocked unconscious, Yuuya can't help but intervene to save her from the goblin leader. After defeating the goblins, Yuuya brings Luna to his house to tend to her wounds. Luna is impressed with Yuuya's strength and courage. Later, they start to train together. The day of the school trip arrives, and Yuuya and his friends gather for the journey. On the trip, Yuuya surprises everyone with his card game skills, thanks to his high luck stats. As they reach their destination, the teacher explains that they will have to survive in the wilderness, foraging and hunting for their meals. As the students settle into their tents, Yuuya and his team split up to find food. Yuuya impresses everyone with his fishing abilities, catching plenty of fish with ease. Rin welcomes Yuuya and Kita back from their fishing trip. Kita excitedly shares how Yuuya caught a bucket full of fish bare-handed. The group presents their impressive collection of vegetables and root plants, which Yuuya examines, removing any poisonous items. They decide to let their teacher judge the edibility of the food. Later, during the campfire dinner, Yuuya surprises everyone with his cooking skills, earning praise from peers and teachers alike. Back at the camp, the students discover their foraged items have been stolen. Akira, alarmed by bear scratches, leads them deeper into the woods, where they encounter a bear. Yuuya valiantly fights off the bear, impressing everyone with his skills. Yuuya prepares for his meeting with the king. Along the way, Yuuya and Knight encounter a group of red orcs and defeats them. Princess Lexia arrives, and Yuuya saves her from a falling tree. Yuuya injures the assassin targeting Lexia, who turns out to be Luna. Surprised, Yuuya decides to help and takes her back to his house for healing. Princess Lexia joins them, curious about their relationship. After Yuuya explains everything to Princess Lexia, she understands the relationship between Yuuya and Luna. However, she scolds and warns Yuuya of the potential consequences for using a magic spell that is unknown and regarded as legendary within the kingdom. Luna is questioned by Lexia and eventually reveals her tragic backstory as an orphan turned assassin. Lexia, despite her past, offers Luna a chance to serve as her personal guard, and Luna hesitantly accepts. The rivalry between Lexia and Luna intensifies when the ladies engage in a heated discussion about Yuuya, with Lexia claiming him as her husband. At the end of the day, Yuuya relaxes with night near a body of water, and they encounter a strange creature and names it Akatsuki. Back in Yuuya's world, he rushes to school in time for the next competition, a series of ball games. During a football match, Yuuya makes an impressive save, surprising his teammates and opponents. While they enjoy their break, a mysterious lady arrives at the school gates, her arrival signaling a new chapter in the story. Yuuya's friends are surprised that he's competing in the ping pong event. They expected him to choose football or basketball due to his spectacular feats in those sports. Later, in the fantasy world, Yuuya encounters a mysterious hard black tree and a formidable boar. Before he can react, a white rabbit named Usagi appears and saves him from the boar's attack. Usagi reveals that it's a divine responsible for training apprentices to protect the world from the vile, malevolent beings. Yuuya agrees to train Usagi in magic, and they embark on their journey together. Back in his world, Yuuya participates in the Academy's ball sports competition and faces a skilled ping pong opponent, and later destroys the volleyball court during a match. There in the fantasy world, Usagi engages in a battle with a Vile who can use magic. Next, Yuuya defeats a formidable national tournament champion known as the Sniper in Ping Pong. The magazine director and photographers get to capture Yuuya in action. Later, Yuuya replaces Kaori's injured partner in a tennis match. Despite Kaori's lack of skill, they manage to win the game. Yuuya surprises Kaori with a humorous comment, and she rewards him with a kiss on the cheek. The magazine director previews their special issue featuring Yuuya, impressed with the shots that were taken. The following day, while helping Yuuya with a difficult question, Kaori ends up accidentally discovering the door to the other world in Yuuya's house. Yuuya shares the truth and shows her the magical world, growing closer as she promises to keep their secret. Meanwhile, in the capital, Lexia returns and confesses to her father, the king, that she turned Luna into her guard after the failed assassination attempt. Luna's life is spared, and she becomes part of Lexia's personal guard. The king realizes the significance of Yuuya's involvement and grows angry, contemplating harming him. However, Lexia and Owen intervene, preventing any immediate action. Days later, Yuuya travels to the royal capital and meets with Owen, who leads him to the king's hall for an informal audience. The king confronts Yuuya about proposing to Lexia for marriage, accusing him of seducing his daughter. The king misunderstands Yuuya and gets angry, but before he can attack, the masked villain's magic ceiling barrier is activated, disarming the mages in the hall. A fight breaks out, and Yuuya, along with his pets, easily defeats the intruders. Luna notices Yuuya's increased strength, and Owen discovers Ryger's crest, revealing the masked villain's identity as the older son of the king. Owen asks Yuuya for help in facing this new threat that could jeopardize the kingdom. Yuuya goes to check on Princess Lexia, but she surprises him by coming out to meet him instead. Princess Lexia suggests showing Yuuya around the royal capital for sightseeing, but her bodyguard, Luna, objects due to safety concerns. Despite their disagreement, they all end up going together. Yuuya decides to join the Adventurers Guild with Luna and Lexia. They choose their first quest, Herb Collection, and Yuuya impresses everyone with his high magic energy capacity. Owen informs Yuuya about the location of Prince Ryger. Yuuya accepts the request to deal with the prince and heads to an isolated mansion. Inside, Ryger attacks, but Yuuya, aided by his familiars, dodges his strikes. Yuuya manages to stop Ryger from hurting himself further. Suddenly, a mysterious girl appears, evaluating Ryger's failures and revealing her plan to use him for her dark goals. She tries to attack, but Owen intervenes, and the girl retreats due to depleted stamina. Yuuya is left puzzled about the girl's intentions. Meanwhile, in the human world, Kaori comes to Yuuya's house, but there is no answer at the door. As things continue, everyone regroups at the castle, still in awe that there is someone stronger than Yuuya. Lexia is relieved that Yuuya wasn't hurt in the altercation. Owen interrupts and informs Yuuya that the king wants him present for the discussion on how to deal with Prince Ryger. Ryger confronts his father and sister, blaming Lexia for his current state. He reveals that her magical energy caused him to go mad and engage in destructive behavior. Yuuya uses a rare recovery medicine, the cure-all herb, to heal Ryger both physically and mentally. Amazed by the cure, the king rewards Yuuya with Ryger's lands and appoints him as Lord Knight. In the fantasy world, Yuuya encounters the mysterious girl, now known as Yuri, who seeks revenge for her master's betrayal. Yuuya fights her but struggles until his master, Yasagi, comes to help. Together, they manage to defeat Yuuya. Back in the real world, Yuuya's siblings regret how they treated him before and are ready for a healthy relationship. Yuuya enrolls in school and is introduced to his class.